boys and girls, today is Thursday and today we're going to be practicing using measuring to create or observe experiments. We're going to do that by making homemade Play-Doh. Now, I know Miss Gomez's class has made Play-Doh before in our classroom, but just kind of a recap of what you need. You're going to need a cup of flour, any flour will work, half a cup of salt, and half a cup of water. I kind of mixed up my measurements, but I've done this before. The recipe is on our Google lesson plans, as well as there's a link to kind of help you out. But just to kind of walk through it, whenever you're making this Play-Doh, make sure that you are talking with your kids the importance of measuring, why we need to be precise when we're experimenting. Maybe you can take notes, maybe you can try using different measurements and see what happened, what went wrong, what do you think it needs. So all you're gonna do is you're gonna put your flour in the bowl, and you're gonna put your salt in the bowl, and then you're going to add your water. When you do this, you can use a spoon, but I kind of just like to use my hands, and the kids love to use their hands. Whenever you're mixing this up, you can add food coloring in here, and that will kind of help make it look pretty. I don't have any food coloring, but that's okay. So we're going to go ahead and mix this all up. It takes a minute for everything to kind of gather and combine, but just kind of play around with it and let your kids get into this. Like this is, I know whenever we did this in the classroom, this was something that they loved. Whenever you're done, when it's kind of firm, you can add a little bit more flour. I think mine needs just a little bit more flour, or you can just kind of work with it and play with it. But talk about measuring and how different measuring matters when you're baking or experimenting with something. And like mine isn't as firm and it's kind of sticky and wet. So you may be able to ask your kids, what does it need? Do you think it needs more water, more salt, more flour? What can we, how can we fix it? And questions like that. So don't be afraid to make a little mess, use what you got, and have fun.